as part of the singing tree as a practice of emotional intelligence and conversational intelligence, I would like to share with you 8 non-physical needs that we all have, that we have not gotten much training in asking for help with or even experiencing. And this comes from former Army Captain Paul Chappelle. Yes. Do you know him?
I've heard him speak.
Where did you hear? In DC?
In DC.
I think we had this conversation. So Paul Chappelle worked with the Army. He's a West Point graduate. He was a captain in Iraq, and he also could have been a mass shooter in high school. He sat in class and imagined killing everyone and thought that was normal. His daddy had PTSD so bad that he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but it wasn't schizophrenia. And he's applying everything he learned in the military to waging peace. And he founded the peaceliteracy.org, which has a K through adult curriculum. This is all in your facilitator guide. And all of his books are in the bibliography. I recommend them. He's one of the most beautiful peace leaders of our time. He's part Korean, part Black, and part white. He didn't know he was Black until he was 12. He never told anybody till he was 22. And now it's the first thing he tells people. And he talks about if racism can change within him, he knows it can change within others. He had a high school teacher who told him to write, so he didn't shoot. She didn't know what was going on. But because he could express himself, it saved others' lives and his own life. And in your facilitator's guide is this list of non-physical needs, a landscape of human needs. And he puts it in terms of this orchard, and it's so lovely. His description can be used for a whole other art project. And I want you to know that unity through creativity supports other structures besides the singing tree. So this is a very wonderful exercise to do in conjunction with the agreements, because inevitably people break the agreements. That's just how we are. And what we are going to do, these are 9 non-physical human needs. The first one is the peak of purpose and meaning. When we ascend the peak of purpose and meaning, life becomes worth living. A purpose involves us, while a higher purpose not only involves us, but also goes beyond us. When we stand atop a high peak of purpose, we can see the other features of the landscape from a new and more fulfilling perspective. The second one is the ground of self-worth. Think of the feeling of sturdy ground beneath your feet. This ground symbolizes a strong and stable foundation of self-worth. You feel grounded, secure, and confident. The third one is the orchard of belonging. Imagine being surrounded by trees, feeling protected, and having shade from the heat. This symbolizes belonging to a strong community. You are not alone. The fruit of nurturing relationships. We can receive sweet and nourishing fruit from the orchard of belonging. We can also become a source of sweet and nourishing fruit for others. This fruit represents trust, empathy, and other forms of nurturing. The river of expression. Our human need to express our emotions and thoughts is like the current of a river, which can vary in intensity depending on how we feel. Our river of expression can provide fresh water that nourishes the ground of self-worth in others and our relationships in the orchard of belonging. Our river of expression can also cause destruction through flooding and the spreading of pollution. The winds of inspiration. Healthy forms of inspiration are like a cool breeze, refreshing us during the hottest and muggiest days, helping us move forward during times of adversity. Like the Santa Ana winds in California that can spread fire, the winds of inspiration can also assume dangerous forms that spread destructive behavior. When the role models we look up to for inspiration promote harmful behavior that we emulate, that is like the wind that spreads pollution, which we inhale and internalize without even realizing it. The last three needs include challenge, explanations, and transcendence. The cliff of challenge. We cannot become stronger physically or psychologically unless we are challenged. Challenge allows us to climb toward the highest human potential, top a high peak of purpose and meaning. We can see the other features of the landscape from a new and more fulfilling perspective. The observatory of explanations. We start craving explanations during early childhood when we begin asking questions. Our human need for explanations is so powerful that if people do not have accurate explanations, they will come up with inaccurate explanations. These explanations form our worldview. Unless observatories in our outer world that mostly observe our outer reality, the observatory of explanations in our inner world uses what it sees to help create our inner reality. Our explanations help create our inner reality by shaping our worldview and every feature in the landscape of our inner world. And finally, the sky of transcendence. Human beings have a need for transcendence, which means to use our sense of time, to feel a sense of timelessness, to touch and taste the eternal. Transcendence can occur when we lose our sense of time, when we are lost in the moment. There are healthy and unhealthy ways to transcend our sense of time, limitation, and transcendence can be experienced at varying depths. When we live according to our highest human potential, this can help us transcend time in deep and healthy ways. Those are the 9 non-physical human needs that we need to understand, pay attention to, make requests out of, and share with the rest of the world. Paul says that Abraham Maslow is wrong, that the physical needs aren't first. People will give up the physical needs for their purpose. Yeah. We see that with jihadists and with soldiers and people that are rescuing somebody who at risk of dying. So purpose is in there too. So this is the exercise that I would love for you to do, which is to choose one of these and to draw it in block letters and draw it really light first because we always plan on making boo-boos.
Drawing what?
In a block letter, which is like, I'm going to do belonging. So I'm going to draw really lightly. And then with a group of kids, we usually use a great big piece of paper so that like 3 or 4, or any adults too, can work with it, can work together on it. So a block letter is a letter that has a lot of space. And the task is to fill this space with images that have to do with belonging. And you also can use the 5 simple shapes and do decorations and patterns. So you see how I totally ignored the first thing that I did? Yeah. because mistakes rock. So I'm going to show you one example of what I'm talking about. So one thing that belonging, let's see, we'll have to orange, makes me think of is being held. So I'm going to just make a really simple drawing of a grown-up holding a baby. Just really simple. See how simple I made that? And color it in. Maybe make some hair. And then the color green makes me think of belonging because we belong to the earth. So I'm making leaves. And again, to fill up all the white space. And maybe I'll make the earth here. And maybe I'll make the sun because the sun never asks, you owe me. A love like that can light the world. That's by Hafiz from Iran, 700 years old. So just let yourself brainstorm images that remind you of that word. And so I'm doing belonging. What would you like to do?
Inspiration.
Perfect.
Expression.
Excellent. Purpose. Great, great. So draw it really lightly. I just made straight lines and then I made it fatter. Any color you want, have fun, have joy, and we'll have music. We're going to work on this for about 20 minutes. And when like we've done it with kids, we have the whole room filled with these 9 needs. Then when somebody breaks a agreement, we can say, did you need more explanation? Are you feeling like you're not belonging? Is this not challenging enough? And you're held by all these wonderful needs. A lovely practice is to put all the drawings that have been created into a circle. So a lovely way to close is to first process what we just made and share any observations that you have looking at them all together. And then we'll do a heart checkout.
Mm-hmm.
Mary, would you start and we'll just go around the circle?
Well, I chose a long word, so I bent it.
Yay.
And I went outside the lines because one of the things I put in one of my letters was water because I love the idea of flow. I always say, make me a channel of your peace and not make me an instrument of your peace. I don't want to be a tool. I want to be a channel. So I was trying to run water through. And then I also had musical notes, so I tried to run those through. But my main inspiration in my life has been books. So I have books on several of them. And I've tried to make a book fly with wings that would not look like wings unless I told you they were wings.
Yes.
But that's sort of what I had in mind. I have running, people, stars, flowers, hearts, love, a few things like that is in addition to the books.
And was it fun to do?
And music, and it was fun to do, even though I was feeling a little self-critical because other people's look like they were done by grown-ups, and mine never do.
This absolutely looks like it was done by a grown-up. It's very sophisticated. Do you have, some simple human forms, but the concept of it and the way you made the sky on the top and the grass on the bottom and the flow was beautiful.
Very original. The music was done to Nina Simone.
Very nice colors too.
Thank you.
And when I looked at it, it looked like sperm. I guess at an angle.
I like that. I like that.
Music as sperm and sperm as music. Yeah.
And the idea of using a solid color to knit things together was helpful. Thank you.
And any experience looking at us all together?
I love that each is different, and yet there is a kind of unity to the set of them.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, you know what I notice about yours is my word's expression and yours is inspiration, but yours is very expressive also. Just the slant of it and the exclamation mark and just the way that it's filled in. I think it's very expressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my word was expression, and that's I just started kind of going with what I normally paint because I tend to always have a rainbow in everything. If I don't have every color, I don't feel like it's complete. I do work around the rainbow a lot, and it's a stylized part of what I do. But then I started really getting into it when I kind of incorporated like mountains and rivers and trees, and I started thinking about the different types of just art that like still life landscape and getting into that and the paintbrush. So I was kind of thinking about expression in terms of art, I guess, in terms of how artists express.
You're finding little eyes. Outside box.
And looking at the letters and kind of thinking of what fit into different letters and the trees.
I
have a little
tree. Tree and the P. That is superb.
And the hearts, because to put some love into it. And I think they do all tie together. There's a unity, and the color unifies everything. And I think just you can kind of feel the thoughts are on the same wavelength in these. So I love that.
Beautiful. How about you, Lily? Just over here because our agreements are falling down.
I did challenge, and in the first letter, the C, I tried to do like crosses across because relationships are challenging, and life growing is hard and painful sometimes. The triangles when we're reaching a goal, that's a challenge. Put hands because they're hard to draw, and because working with our hands, that's one of the main things. A lot of things we humans do is work with our hands. This one, do a baby.
Oh, he's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Raising a child, that's really hard.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And paths, walking our paths. And the water here, the movement, chaos, nothing can be planned really. And speaking up. I did little mouths, but you can't really tell.
That's
and then
so hard.
Going against the current, I tried to display here. I really like how you did some sticking out here on the letters and here. And how you did like a whole, it looks like to me a landscape in a circle. And Laura, you did a face here.
Ooh, and 3 letters.
Yeah, and like that there's yellow, like there's this whole cohesion on this whole one because there's yellow here, and then there's blue and this green. I like how everybody just, it's unique but really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the way your letters hug each other and connect to each other, especially the G and the E and the C.
Yeah.
Well, all of that there.
And the 2 L's.
Yes.
Kind of leaning on each other.
Yeah, so adorable.
Lean on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I put the universe in my drawing. Nice. Just like I put that. That's your job. Yeah, that's my job to put everything in the tiny beings there.
The purpose is like I put the heart because the purpose is with the heart,
Yeah.
and it has a light here emanating from the stem, from the land, from the soil, from the ground. There's a light to give us a purpose. I don't know. This likes to me like a grape, or
Mm-hmm.
it's a fruit.
Yeah.
And I said this was almost like the last one I drew, the second to the last, but I put the steps
Yes.
just to be able to go to that purpose. You have to climb,
Yes.
you have to fall also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of triangle there, different colors. So I put this has like I put white color there, but these are like the nature, like
Yeah.
some greens, trees or grass. And these are the flowers. And of course, the purpose, the O, that's the last one is O is a human person,
Mm-hmm.
the center of who we are,
Or a drama.
So it's like a baby, a person there in the middle of the ocean,
Lovely.
in the middle of the ocean. I said, I put here like two triangle, no? And then I said, it's like it's like a timer,
Yes. Yes.
like it's related. And at the end, I said, at first I started with a butterfly, but I ended up like having like a pigeon, like sat down there and ready to fly,
Okay.
here outside. And there's a star here
Nice.
because I think when we have a purpose, we can have the star, shining out in
Yeah.
us. So I put the universe in my picture.
Wow.
And I see like coherence, in the colors here and there. And then the uniqueness of you, Mary,
I'm
it's
unique like
lively,
everybody else.
and it's like really a poet, like you. It's like when you look at it, it speaks a lot. You can make a poem, you can make a song.
Yes.
I like this when I don't need to say like, no, but it touched me because when you put the letters, I said it gives me like the creativity that you can do. There's no line. There's nothing. There's no order. You can do everything. Anything. Right. And of course here, I said the coloring. It's distinct. It's so attractive. So that's how I see this one. Of course, it has a meaning there. But what attracts me is the color, the purple color, and it likes a strong, and then it becomes subdued.
Yeah. Oh, I like
It,
that.
it speaks. And I see like these are like humans. Like, and yeah, there's an eye.
Yeah.
So I see those people. People are there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I started with my mommy holding a baby. This is the orchard of belonging. There's apple trees. This was just fun shapes and more nature. These are dandelions. I'm reading a series called The Dandelion Insurrection.
By Rivera's son. Oh, she's so.
Yeah, which is a story of nonviolent resistance to a corporate fascist state that she wrote in 2013, and it's very timely. Very timely.
I to like that.
I didn't get around to putting the apples into this G, and that's a face of humans just want to belong. You just want to belong. And Mary, I love the movement of your bird. I love how it moves this way and the river moves that way, and it makes such a nice flow. Yeah, and the intensity of the expression and the yumminess of the imagery is so great. And Lily, yours is such a dance, and it makes me think of what Thomas More said. and care of the soul. He said that our soul dwells in place, in story, and in imagination. And whenever there's imagination, we get to experience soul. So that's what comes to mind looking at yours. And I just love how you play with texture. And I love the texture here, and the texture here, and the texture here. It's just like, right? It's just, it's so fun. And I too feel that our purpose starts with our heart. Yes.